Welcome to this August 12th edition of the Weekly Recap. I'm Matt Wacker. A crazy story to begin the recap, as 42-year-old Toby Gregory of Bland was involved in a murder-suicide attempt at the OWENSVILLE Motor Inn. On August 4th, Gregory shot and killed his estranged wife and was later found in the parking lot of the motel with a self-inflicted gunshot wound under his chin in an apparent attempt to end his own life. He was transported to Mercy Hospital in Creve Coeur, where he remains in critical condition. Gregory has been charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Bond has been set for $500,000. The Gasconade County municipal elections have come and gone, and John Romanus has been crowned the victor. Romanus came out on top against opponents Chuck Howard and Clyde Zelch, also running on the Republican ticket. Current Sheriff Randy Ephorst will be retiring at the end of his third term in November, following the election in which Romanus is currently running unopposed. The Rolla West expansion is just one of the changes in store for the citizens of Phelps County over the next few years. Leanne Minting spoke with newly elected officials to discuss this and other issues.
Matt, I'm here with newly elected Phelps County officials Larry Stratman, who was elected once again as the District 1 Commissioner, and Terrace Cates, elected as Surveyor. Thanks for being with me, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Larry, tell me what is, in your opinion, the biggest issue facing Phelps County in the next 4 years. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think a lot of what's going on in Phelps County right now is some movement on roads and bridges. We're building a brand new road that's actually an incident bypass for MoDOT. It's in North Y, and that's going to be a great project. It's a cooperative project between Federal Highway, MoDOT, the City of Rolla, and Phelps County. And so transportation is always a big issue in Phelps County. That and probably another big issue is economic development. There's much happening right now, both the west side, and there's a lot of investors in town looking to relocate or locate in Rolla.
Okay. And as for surveying, Terrace, what is your primary goal for the next term?
Well, thank you. My goal, because I'll have to work with commissioners on this, but as county surveyor, some of the main things we do is reestablish those old patent corners that were set between 1815 to 1860 here in Missouri. My goal is 16 corners a year, if we can do that. Next one, I'll be sitting on the Board of Equalization with the county commissioners and helping taxpayers make sure that their appeals are heard. Then also providing quality surveys for the public and for the commercial entities and for the county.
What's the next step in seeing Rolla West become a reality?
Rolla West is moving forward in a slow pace, but a good pace. We will see a movement probably in the next couple of weeks, both from the City of Rolla and the Phelps County Commission, and then that will move us in a positive direction towards the Transportation Development District, which is a companion to the development out there. And I think we're going to see great movement there, and we hope to see groundbreaking probably next spring.
That's great. So when can we expect to be able to shop out there?
I think the projection right now is probably back to school in 2018. That's always subject to change, as we know, but that's the target I think they're looking at right now.
Okay, thank you. And Terrace, one final question. Why is it important to keep all the surveys accessible to the public, and what is that issue about?
That's an excellent question, Leanne, and it goes back to the very basis of our rights as citizens of the United States to own land. And that's a heritage that we have, and we want to protect that. And so the way that's done is through surveying. And what's important is everybody be able to get a hold of those surveys, those plats, whether it's another surveyor or a citizen, to be able to find those pins, find the plats, find the monumentation that defines your property or your neighbor's property. As a surveyor, if I'm out there and I'm surveying a parcel and there's a pin here, I have no idea where it came from, there's no recorded survey to it, how does that tie into everything? And that's one thing I love about surveying. It's a little bit different than engineering and architecture. There's so much law involved with it. There's so much history involved with it. And matter of fact, of all the disciplines, surveying has the most lawsuits because people have their rights for land and they're going to fight for that. And so it's important as a surveyor that I be able to document everything I do, substantiate it based on other surveys and other plats, and as citizens that they can go right to the courthouse and get those plats or a surveyor.
So for the surveyors to keep them recorded so that they're in public use.
Absolutely, so that everybody can use it, that they're accessible, that you don't have to just go to some office somewhere and pay for it, whereas you can go to the county and get it for $2.
Okay.
Yep.
That's an important issue. Larry Stratman, Terrace Cates, thank you both for being with me.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Matt?
The Missouri Alliance for Historic Preservation met at the Kansas City Museum on August 5th. The Alliance came together to discuss the 2016 list of historic places in peril. This year, 11 historic locations around Missouri were added to the list. The list marks important landmarks around Missouri that are in danger of deteriorating due to lack of maintenance, insufficient funding, or inappropriate development. On the list are the old Phillipsburg General Store and Route 66 Gasconade River Bridge in Laclede County, as well as the Houston House in Newburgh. The Alliance knows that not all of the locations on the list can be saved, but hope to bring attention to them through public advocacy. For one Rolla family, the fight against Alzheimer's is a personal one. The Burrell family was part of last year's first ever Walk to End Alzheimer's, following the death of their grandmother, Betty Glasscock. Since then, the family has worked to raise awareness of the disease in the area and raise funds for future research. This year, the Alzheimer's Association set a fundraising goal of $10,000, which was easily surpassed by over $35,000 raised by the Rolla community. The Burrells have set a personal goal to reach over $38,000 by the end of this year's Walk to End Alzheimer's event on August 27th. On the latest installment of On the Road, Ben and Jake are visiting a little-known park with a spin.
Today we're heading to the James Monroe Memorial Park in West Plains, Missouri. At first glance, this seems like a very nice modern park, complete with pavilions and restrooms.
But then you'll find these interesting little structures all throughout the property. This is actually a Mach 3 target for disc golf. Now you might be surprised to find out that West Plains is home to a signature design HB disc golf course, complete with a warm-up green, 18-hole championship course, and a 9-hole recreational course. What is disc golf? Put simply, it's regular golf, just with a frisbee. You can find the complete listing of rules at pdga.com.
Earlier in the day, we raided the Fidelity promo bin and were able to get just about everything we needed. Before Ben and I hit the course, we thought we'd get some practice.
I think we're ready. Reviewing the course, we set out for our first round. It didn't take long to realize that the professional course was just that, professional. To be fair, we could have benefited from a few disc golf lessons. With that being said, you can find professional discs in West Plains at the local Ace Hardware store. I would suggest start off by playing on a less demanding recreational field, or do what Jake and I did and play the best of 3 games on the practice green, which now, I must admit, I lost.
And with that, back to you, Matt.
I've told you before, Ben, it's all in the wrist. A man is dead in a suspected murder in Big Piney. 61-year-old Keith Bridwell was found dead in his home on August 6th. The cause of death appears to be multiple gunshot wounds. The body was discovered by a family friend, 23-year-old Lunden Davis of Rolla. During the police investigation, it was discovered that Davis had taken property from the house prior to informing police, tampered with evidence, and was in possession of drug paraphernalia. However, Davis is not a suspect in Bridwell's murder. The investigation continues. Howell County deputies responded to a suspicious individual on August 7th. A man was seen trailing blood from a leg wound, walking down a highway south of Mountain Grove. When police arrived, the suspect had barricaded himself in his home. Other officers from Howell, Wright, and Ozark counties arrived, as well as the Howell County SWAT team. The suspect surrendered without incident after a 5-hour standoff. The man is believed to be connected to another shooting. The investigation continues. A West Plains man is behind bars after being arrested for arson. 31-year-old William Donner was arrested on August 6th for an outstanding warrant. On July 4th, Donner allegedly broke into a house on South Highway 63 and set clothes and bedsheets on fire. Donner was arrested at the West Plains Police Department and was charged with arson and burglary. With 2 or more felony convictions under his belt, Donner is considered a persistent offender and is being held at the Howell County Jail on a $10,000 bond. We are now 1 week away from week 1 of the varsity football season. Our season begins in customary fashion with coverage of the rivalry between Lebanon and Rolla. Don't miss the Price Chopper Game of the Week exclusively on Fidelity Local 6. That's all for now. I'm Matt Wacker. Thanks for watching the weekly recap, and I'll see you next week. Looks like I've found my fortune and glory. Watch the weekly recap with me, Matt Wacker, every Friday night at 6:30 on Fidelity Local 6.